Yes, it's the Angry Chimp Show. I'm Stu. Off screen there, doing producer things, is a chimp. You might think that's unusual, and you'd be right, but that's where we're at. I'm not saying that I would rather have a human producer. Or maybe I am. At least somebody who's not so ill-tempered. Damn it. What can I tell you? Life dithers along, and you should be railing against it for all of its grandeur, pomposity, and entitlement. What gives life a right to exist? Why does it consider itself so precious? So something that's going to be a focus on this show, because it's a focus in my life, is the realization of my dream of becoming a journalist that exclusively writes Daily Mail headlines. I don't want to write stories. I don't want to work for any other media company. Just Daily Mail, just headlines, because they are sublime. Absolutely sublime. So I expect your support as we build this campaign. I'm not joking, and this is what I want. Well, to get this started, I thought I might show you a few of my favourite Daily Mail headlines, and maybe even go into the more confusing aspects of what makes a Daily Mail headline great. Daily Mail headline. One of my favourite things about Daily Mail headlines is that they'll make headlines out of something that seems quite obvious. Brooke Shields, teenage daughters are home for the holidays. Okay, is that unusual? Why would that be unusual? They're her daughters. That's, it's the baffling element that attracts me. Next one, this is from last year. Darwin man accidentally exposes himself at Hungry Jack's drive-through after, open quotation, super Viagra, close quotation, orgy, backfires dramatically. If you're watching this on the video, you can see he doesn't seem too disappointed about it at all. But that one's... so we've got our confusing Daily Mail headline, as the first one was, because confusing as in stating the obvious. And then we've just got the chaos headline. That's pack as many crazy things into a headline as possible. Another thing they love to do in Daily Mail headlines is capitalize a word so you don't miss it. I think the Daily Mail doesn't have a high opinion on the attention span of its readers. And so, in case a reader's getting bored reading a headline, it needs to do the equivalent of shouting to make sure you're paying attention to the important bit. Did Joe pass wind during his terrible presidential debate? Suspicious noises is clearly picked up by mics during Trump's showdown. So wind capitalized there, in case you went, Joe passed some wind, all right, but did Joe pass wind? Are you trying to tell me that this wouldn't be the best job in the world? Man smiles after being bitten by a shark in a very surprising area. That's the variation I like to call the teaser, because it's a headline's job to get you to click through and read the article. Tell me you're not clicking that one. That is fantastic. Man smiles after being bitten by a shark in a very surprising area. I don't see how you can look at that headline and not click through to the story and be a human being that has emotions on this planet. Foodies shocked after genius grandpa reveals exactly how to eat a sausage roll. This changes everything, in quotation marks. I mean... Are you telling me you wouldn't want to spend your days doing this as a job? This changes everything. Alright, this one I like because it combines a few of the important elements of Daily Mail headline writing. My 15-hour first-class flight nightmare! I had hair and things moving in my compartment. The entertainment system was broken, and there was no tablecloth over my nuts. So that combines the shouting element of a random word. It has the confusing and random quotation marks, and it has that very strange, vague element. Also, it has the element of packing as much into a headline as it can possibly get. So, I mean, I feel like this is almost the apex of creative writing. Tell me if I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. I feel that you've got to be pretty creative to be able to do that. And just imagine how many they're having to pump out a day there at the Daily Mail. So, I don't know how this campaign's going to actually manifest itself, but I'm going to try. If anyone listening or watching this has any contacts at the Daily Mail and wants a very enthusiastic headline writer, until next time, goodbye from me. And hey, we got through without mentioning chimps. Don't you think that's like no chimp news stories there? I told you we could do it. Like, that's possible. We don't have to talk about chimps.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.